Hey everyone, I'm Nick de la Torre with Awaken Catholic, and welcome to Awaken the Word. Today we're reading from the Gospel according to Luke. In the days of King Herod of Judea, there was a priest named Zacchariah. He belonged to the priestly order of Abijah. His wife was a descendant of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. Both of them were righteous people before God, living blamelessly according to all the commandments and regulations of the Lord. But they had no children because Elizabeth was barren, and both were getting on in years. Once when he was serving as a priest before God and his section was on duty, he was chosen by lot, according to the custom of the priesthood, to enter the sanctuary of the Lord and offer incense. Now, at the time of the incense offering, the whole assembly of the people was praying outside. Then there appeared to him an angel of the Lord, standing at the right side of the altar of incense. When Zacchariah saw him, he was terrified, and fear overwhelmed him. But the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid, Zacchariah, for your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you will name him John. You will have joy and gladness, and many will rejoice at his birth, for he will be great in the sight of the Lord." So, Zacchariah, a priest, was also pretty well off. He and his wife Elizabeth lived in a beautiful home. I would know, I actually got to visit their home. It's beautiful, especially for the times. And it sits on the top of a really cool, small mountain, big hill thing. Anyways, you have to imagine someone like Zacchariah, who has spent his life devoted to the Lord as a priest and devoted to his wife Elizabeth, and they've been married and they're not getting pregnant. Elizabeth is barren. And you have to imagine, like so many others who today struggle with fertility, how they have this longing to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. Like, why are the Joneses able to have a cajillion kids and we can't have one? And especially back then, when there's this custom of naming your first son after yourself, and then an angel comes to you and says, "Your prayer has been answered after all these years, after all this time, and you will name him John." First of all, your paradigm of what your world is and what is possible shattered. And then to hear that you have to name your son something other than after yourself, we need to let go of our preconceptions about what is possible. Just because something has been a certain way, it doesn't mean that it always has to be. Plenty of people have struggled for years with infertility, and then an incredible miracle happens later. And I personally know of some very specific examples of that. And whether your struggle is with fertility or with anything else, and you're praying day in and day out about it, never give up. God has his purpose, God has his plan, and God has his timing. And whenever that timing and purpose and mission reveal themselves, be ready to offer it all up to God to do it his way. I have been Nick. This has been Awaken the Word. And before you go, I just need you to know that Jesus loves you. Peace.